biohacking, performance, mastery, mindset, holistic health. This is a show about getting better every single day. I'm on a mission, guys, to help over 1 million people get healthy and lose weight. Why? Because when you lose weight and get healthy, you have higher self-esteem. You have more self-confidence. And that person goes out and crushes their goals and starts living the highest version of themselves, and then they have way more impact on the world. What's up, guys? Happy Friday. Let's go. Super excited today. I wanted to talk to you guys. I'm at a health conference. I'm at a 3-day health conference. It is jam-packed with lots of great information. And I thought, what am I going to talk about this Friday for my Friday health hacks? And one of the things I thought that was interesting is that, at this health conference that I'm at, which is like an elite health conference of like some of the best in the world and the brightest are there speaking, and I get to listen to these folks. It's interesting that we're still talking about the virus, and there's a lot of, it's still on people's minds, right? It's like, how do we detox effectively? How do we stay in contact with people that are maybe shedding from us, right? How do we stay? What about long haulers, right? There's a lot of talk about long haulers and how we can be better at helping our clients and patients, get better with long haulers. And so I thought, you know what? I never talked about this, but I should talk about what I use from a natural holistic health perspective. And I've got a lot of biohacking tools, and I've got a lot of access to a lot of great supplements, and also just technology and how I got better when I contracted the virus this May. And so I figured, what a great topic to talk about. And so I want to go over the 9 things that I did from a holistic perspective and how I got better. I was really hurt, I would say, within 2 days. I was really feeling it, and that I had, a headache and just in a malaise, and I felt like just no energy, and I really couldn't do anything for about 2 days. And then the next 3 days, I just had body aches and pains. But, I was functioning pretty good. But I thought I should go over these things and talk about it because it's still on people's minds. And then maybe next week, I'll actually talk about how can we help family members and people that are affected with this long haulers syndrome. And so we'll go into that next week. But this week, I want to give you the top 9 tips that I use to personally get better from this virus. So let's go over some of the things. I think the first thing I want to talk about that I use, and I just did a podcast with Carolyn Allen from Beam Minerals. And so I am very bullish on minerals. The more and more I've learned, if you guys are watching live, I'll even show you like some of the products that I'm using. You can see on video here some of the things I've got here. This is Carolyn Allen's product. These are fulvic minerals. We did a podcast recently that's up on YouTube only right now. We did a live stream there, and you can learn about someone on TikTok, snake oil. But you can learn about the power of fulvic minerals and how it's different than maybe some of the other minerals that we get. Really, really powerful stuff. And if you don't like that, I have some other brands that I like. I use Cellcore a lot. I'm a Cellcore practitioner, so I will use them. They make CT minerals, also fulvic minerals. What I like about minerals is when at the base level, they create energy. They make ATP. They also help suppress bad yeast in the gut, like candida yeast overgrowth, right? So they will suppress that in the gut. They also help remove toxic metals. So that's really huge. So they do so much good stuff. And I just think it's a really good cellular cleaning tool, and you need it. So I think it's just a great way. I would be overdosing on that. I would be doing more of that if I were sick. That's something I would do. And actually, she makes a humic mineral brand as well. So I would be doing fulvic and humic if it were me and I got sick. I would just be doing more of it. Cellcore also uses a lot of binders, and so I will talk about that here in a second, that I actually like using binders, and they use a lot of humic acid. So for that reason, I wouldn't probably use both. I would use either Cellcores or I would use the Beam Minerals brand that she has. So whichever one you can get access to. For Cellcore, you have to have a practitioner actually recommend you. So it can be a little bit trickier to get. You can definitely reach out to me. I'm happy to get you logged in with some other stuff, some pretty cool stuff there. So minerals, I think that's huge. Again, for cellular energy and to help also with the detox process. So definitely want to use fulvic and humic minerals. If you want to learn more about fulvic minerals, go check out that podcast I just did with Carolyn Allen from Beam Minerals. Awesome stuff. Also, if you're interested in getting it, you can actually use a discount code she gave me for my audience. Joel Evan, I think, is the code. So you can use that in the checkout if you want to learn more about that. I've used minerals with a lot of clients, and I've seen things like asthma go away and a lot of other really just cool stuff. I mean, I've seen people's health get rejuvenated just by using minerals, fulvic and humic specifically. The other big one is parasite killers or some type of binder, right? So here's the thing. We know that there's this antiviral parasite killer that people referred to as a horse. What was a horse medicine? I don't even know if I can say this stuff anymore. So I'm still cautious. I've been censored and banned many times. So Joe Rogan used this stuff. And anyways, so talking about parasites, right? Using not everyone could get access to this specific antiviral parasitic. Oh, there it is. Ben Azadi's up here. What's up, Ben? Dewormer. Yes, horse dewormer. So not everybody could get access to that, but there's a lot of good evidence. If you look through PubMed and stuff, there's a lot of good evidence suggesting that parasites operate the same way that viruses do. And this, if you look at the exosome theory of the way viruses are made versus like germ theory, there's a lot of correlation between viruses and parasites. They operate very, very similarly. And the interesting thing is when you look at the viral, so again, parasites can actually harbor viruses. So can toxic metals and all these other things, but parasites can do that. And so having something to help remove parasites, there's several different types of parasites and species of parasites. So you're going to have to probably use different synergies to see which one's going to work. Again, I'm a very big fan of Cellcore stuff. I have like one of them right here. It says Para 2. You can definitely reach out to me and other practitioners that can get you access to some of this stuff. So I use a blend of a couple parasite killers, and then I also use certain binders to help pull out some of those toxins, because you can mobilize and get these toxins to move with things like minerals and even capturing some of those parasites, but you need a good binder to actually get some of that stuff out. Lily Silly says Royal Rife frequency machines are amazing. Also, you know what? I really love to hear more about what you saw with that. I have a amp coil, and I love amp coil. I love what they're doing. It uses like Rife and PEMF frequency. I was using it daily. Maybe I was using the wrong frequencies. It didn't do much for me, unfortunately. I was kind of bummed by that. I mean, I felt like it didn't do anything, but maybe it was. I just didn't on that cellular level. Maybe it was. I just don't know. The other interesting thing, and I didn't actually put this in my top 9 things that I used to beat the virus naturally. Within 2 days, I was like, again, I had headaches and that were throbbing and just like really felt bad. But then the next 3 days I was fine. I just had body aches. So I think that was pretty good for overall for dealing with this thing. I mean, I don't know how everyone else, some people had maybe even no experience. But yeah, Royal Rife, some really cool stuff there with frequency, and maybe I just didn't dial in the right frequencies to get rid of it. But what I was going to say is I think a big part of healing is emotional, actually. And so there is some mental and emotional products that I do like, but healing is always on an emotional level. And so you have to heal there first before you can even, all these other things I'm talking about, none of it even matters if the mental and emotional is not dialed in. So you got to have that dialed in. And there's actually some cool stuff that we can even talk about. There's some cool products I think you can use to help dial in that mental and emotional support. So I like to use, again, so I was using Parasite and different various parasite killers, and then binders as well to help bind those toxins and bring them out. So that's the second thing that I want to talk about. The other thing is spirulina. Spirulina, shown. I like energy bits, by Catherine Arnston. I interviewed her on my podcast twice. She's really amazing. Spirulina, it's a green algae. There's chlorella, there's spirulina. Really neat stuff, though. Spirulina has been shown to help with viral replication and inhibiting it. If you go to PubMed, you can actually find out that it says spirulina extract is capable of inhibiting viral replication and plaque formation in a broad range of influenza virus strains, including strains that display resistance to some type of drug. Further, so there you go. You can check out spirulina. I was using that as well. I was using like 30 tablets a day of that to help with just viral replication, assuming that that's what I had. So I was using, again, Energy Bits spirulina. I think the code, if I have like some kind of 20% code off with her, I think it's Joel. I think that's what it is. It's just Joel. So check that out. Spirulina was a game changer for me as well. Another one, kind of maybe a fringe supplement or not very known or very common, is spermidine. And so I was using spermidine by Longevity Labs. You guys can see that. There it is. There's the white bottle. Don Moxley hooked me up with some of this stuff. He's a great friend, and he is one of the researchers over at Longevity Labs who makes this product spermidine. But spermidine is known to help with autophagy and the cleaning of our cells and the recycling process of our cells. So I thought it would be and it's been shown to help with inflammation, dementia, a lot of these, metabolic diseases. So I thought this would be a great one to take. And actually, they make a product called Spermidine Immune. And so I was actually using that one specifically because it had like zinc, some extra zinc, and I think maybe some mushrooms, some kind of mushrooms medicinal blend. So I was using that. And then I looked in some of the research, and it actually showed, it said, furthermore, they could identify aberrant metabolic pathways due to viral infection, and finally showing that agents such as MK-2206 and supplementation of spermidine can maintain autophagic flux and reduction of viral replication and output. Overall, this study provides an interesting novel molecular target to reduce viral replication, potentially through the regulation of autophagy. Autophagy, right? That Ben Azadi, who was just on here, if you go check him out, he'll tell you all about being in ketosis and keto flexing and the importance of autophagy and the cleaning of our cells. And that's why he's very bullish on fasting for longer periods and even intermittent fasting, because it gives that body the chance to rest and digest and relax and actually clean our body through that cellular process. And so spermidine does this exogenously. It can actually do this. It can actually trigger autophagy, which is why it can help lower inflammation in the body and help with anti-aging. And so I thought this would be a great supplement, and I think it did help me recover a lot faster. So I was taking spermidine as well. Another Cellcore product that I was using, by the way, the next one I'm going to talk about, I think, is a real game changer. I'm kind of saving this one to the end. BC-ATP. This is another Cellcore product. It's really for mitochondria and cellular energy, and it also helps with detox and the gut. But you always want to be, I was thinking, hey, at a cellular level, my system is being shocked. But my mitochondria, my system is being shocked energetically, and I need to support that because I'm in a deficit right now. So I need to support that even more. And so I was really big on supporting energy in the mitochondria, which I think minerals are a great adjunct, as well as this product called BC-ATP, which helps with just energy and cellular energy. So as well as detox. So that was another big product that I used. Now, this one. Huge. Nitric oxide, NO. Did a great podcast with Dr. Nathan Barry, who is an NO expert. Now, nitric oxide is a signaling molecule, okay? When the body is inflamed or aging, or there's inflammation, or there's lack of circulation, name any disease. I don't care what it is. Diabetes, heart disease, all these diseases. There comes down to a deficit of nitric oxide. And when there is not nitric oxide, the cells can't heal. You need NO. So this and NO helps. Guess what? We've known this for years. It helps with viral replication, inhibiting it. So really, really cool stuff. So I'm a big fan of this. Dr. Nathan Barry, check him out. Guys, amazing, and he's just a humble guy, and just knows so much about nitric oxide. He is an expert, and he was able to figure out. We even talked about it. He's like, well, a lot of people were like, well, can't you just get that from beet juice, and can't you get nitric oxide from L-arginine and L-citrulline? He's like, sure, you can, but you don't get the same effect that you would. He's figured out a way to actually harness NO in a bioavailable form that your body can get. And this one is a game changer because it's a lozenge that you suck, and that will help the NO actually get in to the throat and the nasal passages. I had no respiratory issues, by the way, none. So I think that was really helpful using the NO. Um, that's a good one. That one's you got to check that out. And he's got his product is he's got a couple websites, but if you type in I believe it is, and I'll put this in the show notes, but I think it's like NO to you or something like that. Like if you want to look at getting his products, or type in Dr. Nathan Barry and nitric oxide, and you'll find like his website. He actually gave me a code for that too. I think it's Joel Evan. So if you use Joel Evan in the checkout, you can get 10% off or something like that. All right, number 8. Actually, I'm gonna do a number 10 thing because I forgot to mention this. I didn't bring this to me, but I'm gonna talk about it. Obviously, number 8, quercetin, zinc, vitamin D3, vitamin C. Yeah, use all that. To me, that's a given. Like we all knew about that, so I didn't want to really talk too much about that. I got a great product called Immune Active from my friend Rachel Varga, who is an anti-aging skin expert. You go check her out. She does a lot of stuff in the health and anti-aging world. She's a skin expert. She sent me some stuff called Immune Active, which has quercetin, zinc, has everything in it already. A really good multivitamin that I like, that I just got turned on to, that is a really good brand. It's called Mother Earth Labs, and they make this thing called pH Balancer. We're seeing a lot of good outcomes with clients that are using that, and so that's a good catch-all. It's got antioxidants, it's got humic and fulvic, and it's got all your it's got vitamin D, it's got all your B vitamins in the methylated form, and so that's a great one to take if you're just looking for a shotgun approach of getting everything. I would definitely check that out. The 9th thing that I use, and I'm going to give you a 10th thing that I just thought about that I didn't remember. The 9th thing is probably not going to be as common because most people won't have access to this, but I have an ozone machine, and so I used rectal ozone. The interesting thing about it, and I have a couple of cool podcasts on ozone. You can check out the one with Ian Mitchell. That guy is a genius scientist. We talk about ozone there. I did one with Dr. Robert Rowan, who is one of the most well-known ozone experts in the world. You can check that podcast out of the Hacked Life podcast. I also recently did one with my good friend Micah, the Ozonaut, and we talk about using rectal ozone because it inhibits things like viral replication, cytokine storms from even happening. It lowers a lot of the inflammatory cytokines like interleukin-6, and so it's going to be a great one for overall immune. An immune boost. And ozone, what it does, creates this hormesis in your body. It actually stresses your body out to make your body come back stronger, make the mitochondria even stronger. One of the best ways you can get it is intravenously through the veins, but you have to go see someone to do that. I was in no space to go see one. It actually took me like 2 days to even get my machine out. I was just such a brain fog and I had no energy to want to do anything. So let alone turn on my machine and get everything going. I just couldn't do it. So it took me to like day 3 before I finally did it. I didn't notice like any immediate release of anything, but I think it did help, obviously, and it's been shown to help. So again, the 3 ways you could really get it in is you can do intravenous. If you're at home like me, you can do it rectally, which is the next best way to actually get a really good overall body effect and getting into your body. You can do it by getting it into your water too. You can bubble ozone into the water. I just felt like I'm not going to do that. That's not going to get me as much bang for my buck. And actually, Ian Mitchell makes a cool product. They can take ozone tabs, which I also did. It's actually ozone in a pill, which makes it really easy. So you can use that stuff. It's his company is called biocharge.co. Go to biocharge.co and you can check out his ozone tabs. Really good stuff. The 10th thing that I did that I wasn't going to mention is I used essential oils, and I'm a big fan of essential oils, and I used doTERRA's On Guard. And I think that's a great, if you look at just some of the science behind On Guard, I don't have it here in front of me, but if you look at, there's tons of studies they've done with using essential oils. On Guard's it's like thieves. A lot of us know about thieves, but clove and oregano. I mean, it's got everything to like cancel out viruses. And so I put some of that on my chest. We had the humidifier going. We were breathing it. We were inhaling it. The whole family was. And so that was another great. That was another great tool that I was using to help me bounce back faster. So I hope this was a good one. I think next week what we'll talk about is we'll actually go into, the long haulers and how can we help these folks and what are some protocols they can do. I just know that this stuff was on people's mind and I wanted to give, like here's 10 things that I did that were probably like really different than, your typical vitamin C, vitamin D3, quercetin. Those are all great. That's why I said I use them, but there's some other cool things that I was using and I think they really helped and they were game changers. And I'm just grateful for the people that make these supplements and that we have access to. We get this knowledge and then I get to keep getting upgraded by people that are way smarter than me. And then I get to share that stuff with you guys. So I think that's pretty cool. Thank you, Lily Silly on TikTok for the shout out. You're amazing. I appreciate you. Yeah. Zeolite. Good stuff. That's a good binder. Yeah. So I use Zeolite as a binder as well. In some of the Cellcore products, they have that. So have an amazing, go into the weekend, guys, and have an amazing weekend. If you have any questions, you want to reach out to me, you need help with your health. I do one-on-one health coaching. So if you need help with weight loss and you want to do it from a holistic perspective, or you just need help dialing in your gut, or just something like this, some of these detox protocols, and you need help, or someone who needs help, please reach out to me. Shoot me an email, info@joelevancoaching.com, or shoot me a DM on Instagram at Joel Evan Coaching. I'm happy to help. I love doing this. This is what lights me up, and this is what makes me want to get up every morning and help more and more people. So if I can reach anybody else new and I can help them, then guess what? They're going to go out and help someone else. And that's just the way this amazing circle of reciprocity happens. And it's a beautiful thing. And that's what makes us stronger, right? I always say iron sharpens iron, and it's the truth. So